Lindsey and Aaron sitting in a tree. Kissing. First comes love, then comes marriage, then comes the baby and the baby care.
Hey y'all, welcome to First Comes Love, Then Comes Marriage podcast. My name is Lindsey Jackson.
And I'm Aaron Jackson.
And on this 14th episode, we're talking about support and loyalty.
Loyalty. So listen up.
Let go. Welcome back to First Comes Love, Then Comes Marriage podcast. My name is Lindsey Jackson.
And I'm Aaron Jackson.
And we have been talking about support, loyalty. First question is, how do you support me?
So how do I support you? And we're not talking financially. We're talking like emotionally. We're talking about just all full on.
Yeah, because I'm a lot. And
I'm glad you know.
Okay.
One of the reasons I love you. How do I support you? I let you be you. I heard this thing about the 5-year rule. It's like 5 faces 5. Mm-hmm. And if it's not going to be important in 5 years, you shouldn't waste 5 minutes on it.
Oh, wow.
And I kind of feel like that if I see that you want something that's going to make me upset, or you do something that's going to make me upset, it's kind of like that. Is it going to be relevant in 5 years? Mm-hmm. And you have a lot of different endeavors. You are a busybody. This podcast is one of the.
I love this podcast.
Yeah, it's the love child of your busybodiness. You have to be on the go, and quarantine really put a stop to all your emotions. You were a Broadway dancer. You were teaching gyrotonics. You were working at Saks. You were working at Fordham. You're just always moving. And me, I am the guy who's just like, man, I love her. So how do I support you? I let you be free. I let you be creative. And I like to create a path. You know, I'm the blocker. You're the running back. If we're talking about football, right? Mm-hmm. I'm creating the path, and all you have to do is get it and go. And I hope that you don't see me as an obstacle. Right? You don't see me as the wall. You see me as the person who's pushing the wall aside so you can get through.
Yeah.
When it comes to any of your endeavors, you have to know the person you're supporting, right? And what kind of support they need to help them grow. The way I support you is different from the way you support me, mm-hmm. because you're a go-getter. And you don't need a lot of motivation. You just need the idea, and you're fire. You're gone. Mm-hmm. I just have to create opportunities where I, take action for our son Action. I take him for a couple hours. So if you're going back to school, you could do homework and stuff like that. Or you need to stretch in the morning. I make sure that you have this time. I make sure that the car is filled with gas. Just, doing the little things that sometimes when you're busy, you get caught up not even noticing that you need. Mm-hmm. So my support might be different from yours because mine's is like the devil's in the details. And it's like little things that you might forget are not big enough for the whole grand scheme of what your goal is. Mm-hmm. That's what I try to be the balance, the yin to your yang. Whatever you lack, I try to pick up. So that's one of the ways I try to support you. And I think it's working out. You like me, so we good. How do you support me, baby?
I support you in the way that you need, I feel like. And like you said, we need different things. And the type of support you need is more of encouragement. Go, baby, go. Let's, you can do it. It's interesting because you have to learn that, right? Because most of the time in a relationship, I feel like you treat the person the way that you want to be treated. And that's great because you're teaching them how you want to be treated. However, you have to pay attention to maybe they don't want to be treated that way, or they don't need that and you just need that, something like that. So I think about it, because if I supported you the way that you support me, you wouldn't get the stuff done.
I wouldn't get
You
anything
wouldn't
done.
get it
I wouldn't
done.
get anything done.
Yeah, because you don't work that way, and I work that way. And if you were encouraging me, I would be like, what is he doing? I actually need him to just, do this other thing. So I think that I support you in that fashion. I try to still support you by pushing you to do things, and I feel like maybe that doesn't work. Like, I just will continuously ask you, hey, did you write today? Did you and you're like, and or you usually talk about something a lot, right?
Yes. So I have a lot of ideas. I'm an
Yes.
idea person.
Yes.
And Lindsay is she doesn't really get the concept of brainstorming yet. She goes back and forth.
Because
but-
I don't need all that.
Exactly.
I don't need to sit down in a room for an hour and talk about this one speckle of dust. I just get it done. Put it out. Let's go. And
So I will say something to her, and she will take it as like the Lord's gospel law.
Let's go.
And I'm like, no. That was just an idea. And yeah, and that was one of the things that you are still learning about me. You're trying to pick and choose which one is,
Yes. And it's so funny because it's like, when you get married, you think that person is supposed to be your first person, right? Or not your first, like your go-to person. And last night we went over your sister's house, and you bounced this movie idea off of her, and she was coming back with things, and I was sitting at the table looking at y'all, and I was like, wow, this is great. Like, he needs to be talking about this with her, because when you talk about it with me, I'm like, that's great, baby, go do it, write it down and send it to Hallmark and move on. But you need that person, and since I know that, I want to get that person for you. I want to bring her, I want to hire the person, I want to do that because you need that, and I can't give you that because that's not within me. What's within me is to do it, like
Yes.
to just do it. So I think that going back to support, it's just observing and recognizing what you're searching for. And like you said, you're searching for brainstorming person. You're searching for that detail, that time that, I can't necessarily provide.
Okay, how about we do this? You tell me what kind of support you want, right? And then I tell you what kind of support I want, need.
Right.
And let's see where we could kind of find a middle ground. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And we do this because I'm like, we say this all the time, honest communication. And so it's like, just tell me what you need.
Yeah, just tell me what you need.
Tell me what you need. Yes.
So, Lindsay Jolyn Jackson, what kind of support would you want?
The type of support that I want is the one that you are actually currently providing for me. And that is when I am inspired to do something, when I need to do something, when I feel like, okay, this is my new routine, this is what I need for my mental health, this is what I need for my body, you provide that time allotment. Because most of the time for us now that we're here, that it's COVID, that we're parents, I run out of time. And, I don't really like to use that saying because the reality is you prioritize what you deem most important. And I've always said that. Also, the other reality is parenting takes a lot of time and action is my priority. However, I think that you already provide that support, and where if I come to you and I say, you know what, I need an hour in the morning for this. I want to take this class on Thursdays. I want to do this, that you maneuver and you make sure that I'm able to do it, because I'm going to come to you and I'm going to say what I need. I'm very vocal. So that's a good thing. Baby.
Yes.
What kind of support do you need?
So, side note, I know we don't film these totally, but Lindsay is absolutely stunning today. And I just wanted to say it. So it just, sometimes I might be distracted, but she looks really ravishing. And I think it was a setup to get me baffled today. But what kind of support I need? I see myself as I'm going to do, I don't know if it's called, like an analogy or a metaphor. I don't know which one it is.
Okay.
Anyways, so if I'm a basketball player, right? Basketball player is a team sport. Football is a team sport. And so you need other people to push the weight also, right? Unlike like a tennis or something like that. Mm-hmm. And so I'm one of those persons who I have the ball and sometimes I need to pass it to you and you hold the ball for a minute while I go to a screen or I cut to the basket and then you pass it back type of person. So sometimes I need you to not only just be there, go baby go, but it's also okay, let me keep the momentum of whatever I'm doing alive. Mm-hmm. And so that could be sometimes when I really don't want to work out and you know that I want to lose weight. You wake me up. Like you wake me up. You already have my clothes set out for me. Right. And it's not like babying me. It's just like for that two or three times.
It's a different level of push. And
it's just like, okay, look, I gave you all the opportunities. Now I'm passing it back to you type of thing. I think that type of support is important to me. And I know that you being a dancer is, I know you have an ensemble, but this isn't chorus line. Like dancers have solos and you're a solo type of person. You're like, I got this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we've talked about that before. We are two different people in most of, even swimming, other than my relay races, because I used to be a swimmer, everything I do is solo. And so I know how to drive myself. And you're such a team person. You're a team player. You're a sports team. It's a whole thing there. And that's so funny that you said that. So this is good for me to hear. This is excellent for me to hear because it makes me realize, okay, let me circle back around to being a team player for you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Wow.
So I feel like this conversation, which is interesting, we're having this conversation on the pod when we always say have conversations with your partner.
Yeah.
And you need to have these types of conversations. How can I support you? What do you need support with? What do you need me to step in and say, hey, this isn't a good idea? Because I don't want to enable you. Right? I want to support you. Welcome to the Am I Wrong segment. You can always comment or call in at 347-878-5683.
Why are you doing it before?
Because I need more calls.
Okay. Keep going.
So, yeah, call in at 347-878-5683 because I need my numbers up for my Am I Wrongs. Now, this is the part of the show where, I give a situation. You call in, you text us, you DM us, you tell us if I'm wrong. Here's the situation. Lindsey and I, my lovely wife, have been together for 18 years. We have been married for 6 years. We've known each other since the 3rd grade. We know a lot about each other. Lindsey has a habit of talking for me when it comes to, when it comes to like her family, or she's on the phone, or she'll say something that sometimes is not even true. Sometimes it is true, and then sometimes it's kind of like, oh, Aaron, he loves chocolate. I can eat chocolate one time, and she'll be like, oh, Aaron loves chocolate. Or like, I'll play football one time, and she was like, yeah, football's his favorite sport. And I'm like, why is she talking for me? I am fine. A couple of times, I'll give her this one thing. A couple of times, her family doesn't talk to me directly, and they tried to talk to me through her, which I also had a problem with, and I talked to you about it. I'm like, I'm an open book, just come and talk to me, and I feel like you can come my way. And so she talks to them. But other than that, there is no reason why Lindsey should be talking for me. And 10 seconds go.
Okay, don't do that. Don't do the 10 seconds. Here's the thing. I do talk for him. If you have someone that you love, if you have your partner here, there's no reason why I can't say his name. His name is constantly coming out of my mouth, and I'm like, oh, Aaron this, Aaron that. And the honest reality is, it's my perception of you anyway. So it's not untruth. I'm not lying. It's just what I believe to be true. So anyway.
So if you think
but
Lindsey,
what's your problem with it?
Because sometimes it's not true. So if you believe Lindsey should be sharing her truth about me,
it's true.
It's not true.
Do you
It's
not
not
talk
true.
about me?
No. I keep your name out my mouth.
And everybody should let this be a lesson learned. Keep my name out
Exactly.
your mouth.
Oh, so I'm already gonna win this one. So you could DM us at,
First Comes Love TCM on Instagram.
or you can call us at 347 TRU-LOVE. That's 347-878-5683. Or you can email us at let's talk at firstcomesLove.com.
And we are back. And second question for you is about loyalty. Okay. And this is interesting because I've had this question before with my friends, but it might be different in an intimate relationship. How loyal do you feel you need to be to my beefs? Like,
Yeah, like if you don't like her, if you
Yes.
don't like her, I don't like her type
right,
of thing.
right. Just because we're talking about support,
Mhm.
loyalty, all of that.
I get it. This is tough. I am loyal to you, but I'm also loyal to, I guess, morals and Christ more.
Okay.
And so if you are wrong in the situation,
That's hard because I'm not
okay,
wrong. It's rare.
you're gonna think that you're gonna think that you are right, of course, especially if it's in a beef. If you are wrong in the situation, or I'm taking myself outside of the situation, and I'm looking at both sides, I'm like, ugh, well, they kind of got the moral high ground type of thing.
Okay.
I would definitely side with you, but I would try to articulate their side, because obviously there's a communication breakdown, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I would try to articulate that without trying to make you feel like
Wow.
you're the person in the wrong. I never want you to feel wrong,
Even if I'm wrong.
even when you're wrong, because that's a no for husbands. I mean, but there are situations where you might just be like, oh, it's the principle, and I'm like, well, you're kind of being, what's it called, unreasonable.
Right.
And I don't that's probably one of the hardest things. It's very delicate to tell your wife that you're being unreasonable at all, or your friend or somebody you're close to,
Yeah.
because you always want to side with them. And so I always want to side with you, but I always want us to be the more reasonable person.
And yeah.
There are levels. So it's kind of like I can easily be like, oh, we off so and so, and are you telling me I'm not cool with her no more? And I'm
Right.
like, okay, then we not cool with her no more.
Right.
And that's the way it is. But it's different if you're like, you can't talk to your mama no more. I'm like, whoa, what just happened here?
But I wouldn't say that. It would be like, you know what, we just not going over there. Or, it's like sometimes things happen and we make a decision. And I'm always under the assumption that some things are pretty much like, this is how it is right now. I'm always open to the idea of growth and change and maturity, development, and all of that. So if I say like, we're off this person, I mean, we off this person right now. Don't hold me to we off this person a year from now.
Yes.
So I'm not trying to like light a match and burn her, but we're not doing this right now.
Until when?
Something changes.
Until something
changes.
It is very hard for me to be like, no, Lindsey's wrong. Like, you're not gonna tell me that Lindsay's wrong.
Yeah.
Like, no, if Lindsay's mad at you and she off you, then I'm off you. Why are you even talking to me? And I would assume
Right.
that if somebody knows that you cut them off, then I'm out of the picture too, right?
Right.
Because
They shouldn't be
we're a package
inviting
deal.
you to their
Yes,
birthday party.
because that would be crazy. But if it's like, see, it's different when it's my family. Like, if you're upset with my family, or if you're upset with your family.
Okay.
You have a brother, you have sister. So if you came up to me and was like, yo, we not talking to my sister for a minute. She tripping, right?
Yep.
It's easier for me to be like, okay, because this is the sister that you grew up with. But if you're like, yo, I got a problem with my sister, the one that
Yes,
on
your
my
sister.
side,
Mhm.
I would be like, whoa, let's take a step back. Let's see what went wrong. And sometimes we've had situations in our family where somebody had to be the intermediary, right? Intermediary,
yeah.
and say, hey, what's going on here?
I mean, we've done that before,
Mhm.
and that's the thing.
That's my job. I
We
think that's
are-
my job when it comes to family. When it comes to other people, you don't want an intermediary. You just want somebody to be loyal, right? You don't
Right.
want me to
I mean, I
step
want you to
aside.
be loyal as well with family.
Yes. But to me, family is family, and friends, they could come and go, right? It's seasons, reasons, and stuff like that.
And so I feel the same way about family. It's seasons. I'm not saying we letting them go, but I would do the same thing with family. I would say, you know what? I need to take a break from you. We gonna need to take a break. It might be a couple months, half a year, a couple years, who knows? But I would do that.
I see, and that's where I would come in.
Yep.
I would come in and say, oh, and it wouldn't even be for you. It would be for my own thing, right? I like family. I want to be close to family. So I would try to make amends. If I could not make amends, then I'm siding with you all day, 100%. You my wife, you my everything. Just want you to know. But I would still attempt to make that amends.
Yeah.
Okay, let's flip it to you. I got beef. Is my beef your beef?
Absolutely. 100%. No questions asked. I don't care. And that's the thing. Only because, and people know this about me across the board. Like, don't even come to me if you got a problem with Aaron. Like, don't. Just don't. And it's not even an issue. But also, I don't mind deading people. Okay, what? We good. We're done. Like, it's family, it's everybody. And they already know, so they don't want to do it. And that goes back to your am I wrong? Why I speak for you. Because I'm like,
Don't try to go back to the am I wrong.
Don't cut this out. Look, I speak for you because people need to know we are a package. And that's how strongly I feel about our marriage, about our relationship. And if you have a problem with somebody else, here's the thing. Yes, it goes back to the moral high ground. Are you wrong? Did something happen? I remember a couple years ago, you found out somebody that we know who had been to our wedding, and people who come to our wedding, we take that as like, okay, you support us for the rest of our life. You know what I mean? Like, you saw us go in. And so, you know, you found out that she wasn't necessarily for you, and you were like, okay, we're done with her. And I was like, why? You know, we've known this person all our lives. Why? And then you was just like, nah, she talk about me behind my back. I'm done. And I was like, you want to have a conversation? And you were like, no. And after that, I was like, okay, we're good. And it was that. I mean, it wasn't a big deal because I didn't talk to this person consistently, but you got a problem with this person, I got a problem with this person. And I'm the type of person where I'm like, at least let them know we have a problem. Because I'm gonna let you know. I'm not a confrontational person, but I'm going to let you know in some way or fashion. I'm going to stop speaking to you. I'm going to write you a polite note, you know, something like that. But I'm just so I can let you know.
So loyalty.
Absolutely.
And so when you get married, do you pledge loyalty? Is that what it is?
Yes, you're with that person. And this is something that I was talking about when we were talking about podcast ideas. Forever. Like, you have to think about the end. And I was talking to Pastor Trayvon, and he was like, you enter into marriage with the end in mind. And the end is like, I want to be with this person at 100. I'm going to spend 50, 60, 75 years with this person. We're going to see people go, pass, live, born, all of that. And so at the end of the day, I'm always like, it's us. So of course it's loyalty. It's nothing but loyalty here. That's all I can do. How dare I even consider? Now, of course, I want to help you. If there's something wrong, like you said, want to make sure that you have forgiveness, that there's no bitterness, nothing hindering you. And how you spoke about me, once I do all I can to mend a relationship and it's just not the right timing is everything, then that's it. That's all we can do. Pray, let God have it, and move on. Thank y'all for joining us on our 14th episode. Be sure to reach out, tell us what you think. You can DM us at First Comes Love TCM on Instagram.
You can call us at 347-878-5683.
You can also email us at letstalk@firstcomeslove.com.
So everybody, Thanksgiving is next Thursday, and we would like everybody to stay safe, stay masked up. And also, we're going to be releasing our 15th episode on Thanksgiving Day, just because, something you could talk to your family about. So please tell your friends, tell your family, and listen to the podcast. See you next Thursday.
Hi, Lindsey and Aaron. This is Sasha, first-time caller, long-time listener. Last week, Am I Wrong segment was really interesting because I think you guys are both right rather than both being wrong. I think that Aaron needs to allow Lindsey to kind of come in and debrief when it's time to switch over action watching duties. And then sometimes, Lindsey, you got to go in full force. When 8 o'clock hits, you're clocking in and you got to take over your shift. But at the end of the day, though, too, Aaron, I mean, if Lindsey is doing more like 60, 70% of the watching, you have to be considerate of the fact that she takes care of most of the things that have to do with him. And, if she wants to ease on into it, she has every right to ease on into it. So take your 30%, and sometimes maybe it's going to be 33. Let everything be okay. Love the show. Love you guys even more. Bye.
Y'all for joining us on our 14th episode. Okay.
Oh.
I don't want to say. You weren't supposed to do that.
You always be like, what do I say at the end?
No, I know what to say. I always want to see at the end. I want to talk to people. I would be like, tell us what you think, but then nobody's there to actually talk to me.
You could call us at 848.
Nope. Every time.
Oh, man. All right, ready?
Is when we bring other people into our relationship. New people, new friends.
Are you talking about swinging? What?
No, just, yes.
I would like to say, off top, I do not support you bringing anybody else into this relationship.
Okay, I feel like that intro was better suited for the second question.
Okay, you in it, girl. You in it to win it.
All right. You ready, baby?
I am all ready.